watching, but we want you to come in the building so that you can engage with us. Um, as parent liaison, my job here is to make sure that there's a communication between the parents and the school. If there are any issues that you guys are having, you can talk with me. Now, I'm not gonna be able to change any rules, but I can kind of smooth it over so everyone is on the same page and we can talk to each other in a nice and positive way to get our points across. One of the things that I wanted to make sure, and I've got to bring this up, make sure that our parents did receive is our school and parent compact. This went home a few weeks ago, and it has information here that the parents are to do, teachers and students. Everyone has a responsibility, and after you read this with your students or your babies, we wanted you to sign it, and even if your babies cannot write well, we still wanted them to put their letters on it, not necessarily the parents signing it, but for them to sign it because you've read it with them, and then there's an agreement between you, the baby, the principal, and the teachers. So make sure if you haven't turned that form in, that you can get it in to us this week. Another thing that I'm looking for will be volunteers to help us to set up for our PTA. We're striving to get a PTA started again here at Kimberly, and so we will need volunteers to help with that because the first word is parent, parent and teacher association. So we will need help with that. Also looking for volunteers. For volunteers, there is a process where you'll have to go through a background check to make sure that it's okay for you to be in the school working with the students, but we want to make sure that we implement that program. We're also looking forward to having our food bank coming soon, and just things in the community to help you. Our food bank, we're putting it in a clothes closet to help because we have kids sometimes that have accidents at school and they can come right down without calling parents to come and pick them up. We'll have things there for them to change out into. And just wanting your support here with your babies, supporting them, we want your 100% support as well, and that is a part of this school and parent compact and family engagement plan. And if you have any questions about it, please feel free to call me. I'm in the office every day from 7:30. Well, now I'm outside. Let me take that back. I'm outside greeting parents. So typically I'm back in the office by 8 o'clock. My phone number is 404-802-7612. Again, that is 404-802-7612. And I'm here at your beck and call. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Boatwright. I am the IB specialist here at Kimberly, and Kimberly's mission and vision is aligned to that of the IB mission and that of Atlanta Public Schools, where all students will thrive in a choice-filled community that increases opportunities through hope, belief, and success in action. The International Baccalaureate is our signature program, but they're a cluster. We are a candidate school, and we are striving for our application process to begin in spring of 2024. Kimberly is a PYP school, which means all students pre-K through 5th grade will be immersed in the opportunity to develop caring and culturally aware children to become active participants in their own learning. So our IB Learner focus for this year, for our student academic ownership as lifelong learners, we are working to develop them as a whole child. So there are 10 IB Learner attributes, which you may have seen or your child has talked about. However, those 10 learner attributes are those things that basically help children to learn. And it's not just about their academics, but it's about them as a person. So I always tell people you can have some of the smartest people in the world, but if they don't have caring, if they're not empathetic, all that genius kind of goes to waste because it's only shared with those people who understand them at that level. So for our teachers, we will be implementing a curriculum that approaches teachers using inquiry, action, and reflection to help develop the curiosity, the natural curiosity in children. When children are very small, they have a tendency to ask the question why. And a lot of times parents get very frustrated because you'll tell a child and they say, well, why? And why? And that's their natural curiosity. And when they come to school, some of them, they still have that curiosity. However, as they get older, they stop asking the question, why? So we're teaching them, but if they're not asking why, they're taking in a lot of information, but they're not processing it in a way that they can use it to become a better citizen or learner. And so now we will be moving on to our special guest. Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Williams. I apologize.
Hello, hello. Can we go to the Care Team slides? I'm Mrs. Williams, the clinical therapist here at Kimberly Elementary, and I will be speaking on setting routines. Okay, so creating routines and setting limits for your children, our students, our scholars, right? So at school, we have what we call essential agreements, right? So the classroom, every classroom sets up an expectation for the students in that room, right? And we know what they are. Can you just help me out here? Think about it. You're in a classroom, or we're even in this environment. What would be a basic rule we would have? Would everyone speak at the same time?
Raise your hand.
What would you do to be recognized?
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand. Good job. Kiss your brain. No. But yes, there's an expectation of what is to happen in the classroom. Raise your hand. You know, before you get out of your seat, you want to raise your hand, ask permission. You know, you want to listen and look at the speaker, obviously. As far as lining up, you know, everybody doesn't just run to the door, right? Normally there's some type of order, right? So the students know what order is expected. Even in the hallways, we have what we call PBIS, positive behavior instructions and what have you. So kids know that there's an expectation for what they are to do in the hallways, for what they're to do in the cafeteria, for what they're to do in the classroom, and even in the bathrooms, there is an expectation. So we have posters for all of this everywhere as well. And so kids are rewarded for that, for staying on task and following instructions. So at home, I want you to think about what are some routines or limits that you can set with your child for them to be their best when they come to school in the morning. For example, bedtime. What time, you know, do they go to bed? Is it 8 o'clock? Is it 8:30? What time do they need to get up to catch the bus and to be here on time? You know, school starts at what time?
7:45.
Okay, and so the doors open at what time?
7:15.
7:15, okay, good job, okay. And so, what time, like even when they get home, what's the routine? Do they sit down and have a snack before they start their homework, and then have playtime, then dinner? What is the routine? Can someone share your routine that you have set for your child? Yes.
Comes home, changes his clothes, we go over homework.
Go over homework, and then?
And then snack, and then playtime, and then soccer, whatever activity, and then it's time for dinner, bed, or bath, bed.
Very good. Very
Story.
good. Yeah, and expectation as far as how does he get up? Do you wake him up? Is there an alarm that wakes him up? You know, how does he get up?
Usually I wake him up, sometimes he wakes me up.
Yeah.
I know there's an alarm, but
Yes.
usually I wake him up.
Yes.
Sometimes he's already awake and ready to go.
Yes.
He already has his clothes prepared, so, you know.
Very good.
Yeah.
I love it. So that structure at home is essential to him knowing what to expect next, right?
It's essential for the house.
It's essential for the
Not
house.
just for him.
Right, that calm, right? Yes, and so we do that here as well, and so it's important for you to adopt similar routines at home, right? So to help your child. Did anyone else want to share real quick before I go? Okay, we're good? Okay, good. That was a great example. Thank you so much. And why is this important? Why do we do this? Why do you think we need routines for our kids? Why do you think we set limits for our kids?
So they understand boundaries, they understand.
Very good, exactly. So they understand boundaries, so that they know what is expected. Because if you're not communicating to them what those boundaries are, what we hate to use the word rules, but the expectations are, they're gonna do whatever they wanna do or whatever they see other people doing. So we gotta make sure that we're letting them know, we're communicating to them what we expect, we're supporting them when they're doing the right thing, we're recognizing them, and we're reinforcing, good job, keep it up, I saw that you did this, right? So we definitely want to encourage you to help your children to set healthy habits and build those skills. We're gonna help you as well with that here at school because we do SEL, social emotional learning, where they get some of that as well, to help them with their productivity, compliance, responsibility, and respect as they develop as children, okay? Any questions? All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna move forward and I'm gonna have one of our guests come up to speak. We have this wonderful program here at Kimberly, which is called Glowing Girls, GGI, and it's only for 4th and 5th graders, 4th and 5th grade girls. So I have a guest, Ms. Jackie Hill's gonna come on up and speak and just share a little bit about it for you guys. And if you have any questions, you can ask her afterwards, she'll be here.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Good morning. As she said, my name is Jackie Hill. I am with Global Girls, Inc. We are headquartered in West Georgia. We cover the metro Atlanta area. We also have a chapter in Rome, Georgia. We work with girls between the ages of 12 and 18. We've recently lowered that age now to 10 to 18. And the reason we did that is because we find that girls are now starting to develop sooner, and they're starting those characteristics that they're building earlier in life. So we're trying to get to them earlier. We're not trying to remold them or reshape them. We're just trying to polish that gold that's in them and help them bring those things out. There's 6 characteristics of a GGI girl, and the girls helped us develop those characteristics. They identified what a GGI girl should be. And those 6 characteristics are, they are honest, they're confident, they're positive, they're respectful, they're lovely, and they're honest. So that's what we basically talk to them about, and we hopefully get that in them and instill those values in them, and that's something that they will carry with them for the rest of their lives. We talk about how we shape ourselves, and we help them to develop their shape. We're not talking about their physical shape, we're talking about what makes us us, what makes you you, what makes me me. And SHAPE stands for SHAPE, yourself, your spiritual gifts, those things that come naturally, your heart, how you feel about things, what's passionate for you, your abilities, what are you able to do? And everybody's different. Your P is your personality. Everybody's not the same. Some people are introverted, some people are extroverted. Some people are happy, some people are somewhat sad. And then that E is your experiences, those things that you've gone through in your life. All those things make us who we are, and that's what we're working with these girls to help them build themselves up in this environment in which they're coming up in today. So we're here on one Wednesday every month, excuse me, and we welcome all the 4th and 5th grade girls to come out and join us. We're here for 1 hour after school, and we hope that the girls will come out, and the ones that we met with last year, they were very thrilled with the program. Ms. Williams can tell you that, so we hope that you'll allow your girls, if you're in the 4th or 5th grade, to come out and participate in our program. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me afterwards. Thank you, Ms. Williams.
Thank you. I think that's it. We're gonna turn it over.
Yeah, if you guys wanna stop to get something, we're gonna stop and get something to eat. Our guest speaker is scheduled to come on within 5 minutes, so if you wanna go ahead and grab something, it's fine. our guest speaker, Mr. Patel from Career Wise. He's gonna speak on a program that he would like to partner with us here at Kimberly. It's a program dealing with training and then possibly job placements. Mr. Patel.
Good morning, can you hear me?
Yes, let me get the sound up a little bit.
Okay.
Not good. On the board. Okay, go ahead and test it.
Hey, test, 1, 2, 3, can you hear me?
All right, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. It's coming through the laptop and not the speakers. So let's see if we can fix that.
Okay.
Okay, test it.
Test, 1, 2, 3.
No, we're still working on it.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, one more time.
All right, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
You got it, we got it.
All right. Okay, well, good morning, everyone. My name is Nate Futrell. I am Industry Partnership Manager for Career Rise. We're a nonprofit organization based out of the United Way here in Atlanta. And we do a lot of different things at Career Rise. We work with businesses, schools, Chamber of Commerce, training providers. And our goal really is just to help the residents of the Metro Atlanta area have access to high quality jobs that pay good wages and promote the ability to better your economic standing and your better in your overall life. So we do a lot of different things, like I said, but today what I'm here to talk about is one of our training programs. It's specifically for anybody who's interested in finding employment in the transportation, distribution, and logistics industry. So this is careers in logistics, warehousing, distribution centers. So working with companies like UPS, FedEx, Flexport, Future Forwarding, MARTA. And part of our partnership is to provide a free training program to help prepare people for careers in that field. So the program that we have is called the Prologis Learning Academy, and it is a free online training program that you take at your own pace. There's about 20 hours of courses in the Prologis Learning Academy, and it starts off with really basic high-level overview things like what is the transportation, distribution, logistics industry or supply chain industry? What are the kinds of jobs you can find there, like warehouse workers, pickers, packers, sorters, forklift operators, clerks, warehouse managers. Then it goes into some real specific information about different skills that employers are looking for in this industry, like material handling, safe equipment operation, principles of material flow, products of life cycles, life cycles of products. So lots of different information that employers around the country in this industry have specifically asked for. Each course is about 30 to 50 minutes long. There's a knowledge check just halfway through to make sure that you're understanding the content, and then a quiz at the end to, again, make sure that you've learned all the content in the lesson. And once you've progressed through all of the courses, you would receive a certificate of completion, something you could add to your resume or something that would add value when you're going to apply for jobs. In addition to the supply chain and distribution courses, there's some other courses in there that are really valuable for anyone who's looking for employment, like some interpersonal skills courses on things like conflict resolution, customer management, working as a team, a lot of things that employers have asked for and are great things to add to a resume. And And then there's some courses in there too on how to prepare for interviews, how to write a resume. If you haven't written a resume in a while, just good tips to help refresh you on that. And lastly, there is a 4-hour forklift operator course that would prepare you for the skills test. So you're not going to get your forklift operating license by taking that course, but if you've never sat in the seat before and that's something that you wanted to learn, it's a great start, and then that would prepare you to go and sit in the forklift chair wherever you go to get your certification. Some things that we offer outside of just the free courses, we offer an incentive program for anyone who completes certain numbers of courses. So finish 7 courses, you can request a $25 gift card from us. Finish 14 courses, you can request a $50 card. And then if you finish all 28 courses, or any 28 courses in the academy, then you can request a $100 gift card from us. That's because we know that your time is valuable, and also if you did find employment in this industry, there may be some things that you needed, like let's say you went to work in a warehouse, maybe you need some steel-toe boots. So it's something that you could use to make those kinds of purchases, or just to purchase some things that you need for your daily living. Another thing that we offer is if you take courses and you're interested in finding employment in this industry, we offer a few things to help you find that career. So let's say that you finish those courses and you say, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do, but I do know I'm interested in this, this, and this. You could reach out to me directly, and I will check with the 17 to 18 different companies that we've partnered with around Metro Atlanta to help find you a job that matches your experience and what you're looking for. Or on our website, you can browse through some of the partner companies that we work with, like True Value, Home Depot, MARTA. If you find a job you like, you would just send that information to me, and I will connect you with the hiring manager and let them know that you're applying, just so that they can keep an eye out for your application. It just helps grease the wheels a little bit to prepare you or to get you into the door when you're applying for a job. I can tell you that there are tons of companies around Metro Atlanta who are hiring right now and would love to have skilled, qualified candidates who are ready to work. And I get email updates from these companies every week with job postings that they're looking for. So again, we're just offering this service to the community because there's a lot of opportunity in the supply chain industry for employment, for a good wage, and for career advancement. So it's a great opportunity if you're looking for a career change or a new job, something like that. I will make sure that the staff there at the school have information on how to access the Learning Academy, but I'm happy to answer any questions now if you have any.
We don't have any questions at this time, thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, in that case, what I will do is I'll just follow up here with the staff at school there, and we will, I'm sure they'll share that information with you if you'd like it. But if there's no questions, then I will just wrap up.
Mr. Paterno, it is Denise Turner-Mills. Thank you so much for coming in with us this morning. I truly appreciate it. And I'll follow up with you later if I have anyone to show interest, okay?
Outstanding. Yep, thank you very much for the opportunity, Denise.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, you all too. Thank you.
Okay, so am I up next? Yes, I will be talking about the instructional focus for today. So let me just go ahead and get the slides ready. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Grizzle. I am the reading specialist here at the wonderful Kimberly Elementary School. And my job is to support teachers by helping students make gains in their reading achievement and to hopefully get them on grade level before they leave their particular grade level or leave Kimberly Elementary. So my work is based on the 5 pillars of early literacy. So according to the National Reading Panel identified the 5 key concepts for students to have before they leave elementary school. So it's phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. So phonemic awareness is students being able to identify the sounds in a word. So for example, you have the word bat. 3 sounds, 3 letters. But they also have to identify sounds in chat. It's also 3 sounds, but it's 4 letters because CH makes 1 sound. So part of my job is to teach phonemic awareness. The other is phonics. So phonics is being able to break down challenging words to understand what is being said. So for example, if the word is basketball, a student can't read the word basketball. They should be able to decode the word by breaking it down into syllables. Basketball, to read the word basketball. Then we have fluency. I always tell my kids, when you're reading, you do not want to read like a robot, because when they do, it takes away from the meaning from what they're reading. Because they're so focused trying to figure out the words and reading so slow, they don't understand what they're reading. So the goal is for them to read the way they speak. Then we have vocabulary. Vocabulary is understanding what the word means. And if they don't know what the word means, they have to figure out, okay, how is this word used in the sentence? Using context clues to define the words. And then lastly, we have comprehension, and I'll get more into comprehension on the other slide. But comprehension is knowing what they're reading, understanding what they're reading while they're reading it. So reading comprehension, again, is being able to decode the words that they're reading, making connections. So if they're reading a book, can they connect the book to their lives, connect the book to another book, or connect the book to something that happened in the real world? And then also thinking deeply about what they've read, not just reading the words on the page, but going beyond the text, making predictions, making inferences. And again, I'll talk about that more on the next slide. So some of the issues you might see at home if your child is reading to you is they're not able to summarize the passage. So it's kind of like you're just reading just to read. But if you say, so tell me about the book, summarize, what did you read? And they can't, that's a problem. Second, they can tell you what happened in the story, but can't explain the events and why they happened. And lastly, they can't explain the character's thoughts or feelings, so they're not able to put themselves in the situation to understand why the characters are doing what they're doing. And if not, again, there's no comprehension of the book. They're just blindly reading words on a page. So some of the things you can do at home, and you don't even have to read the book, just ask them general questions like, why is the character doing what they're doing? What would you do if you were the character? And these questions will help you to understand, are they getting a deeper meaning of what they're reading? Can you connect what's happening in the story to something that happened to you, or in a movie, or something that happened at school with your teachers or friends? And help your child to go back in the text. If they say, well, I think the character is feeling sad. The book may not say it, but to ask them, go back in the book, show me where it says, or some actions that the character is doing to have you think that the character is sad, or something that they said to make you think the character is sad. So I have a couple of few videos that I've done with my students. So these are some of the reading comprehension examples. So we have prediction, being able to predict what's going to happen next based on what they read. Inferencing is going beyond the text. That means what they think is not explicitly said in the book, but they're able to gather information based on what they heard or read to infer that this will occur. Then you have summarizing, again, telling you an overview of what happened in the story, and citing evidence from the text, not just giving me the answer. Go back and look back in the text and tell me exactly where did you find that answer. So the first video is prediction. And this is based on the book we're reading. It's a science fiction novel called A Wrinkle in Time.
I think what will happen in chapter 2 is that they will find out that Miss Watson is a witch and she can do unusual things. And I think that Charles Wallace and Meg Murray will like find out that they're not usual kids, that they're not usual kids, and they're like Miss Watson, because Charles Wallace he could tell when what's wrong with Meg Murray and with his mom. So I think that we'll find out that Meg Murray and Charles Wallace is like Miss Watson.
And I can tell from her explanation that she has read chapter 1 and she's predicting what's happening in chapter 2. So a little bit of background. I call these kids my Elite 13. A Wrinkle in Time is a high book, but because I'm reading it with them, it's a shared reading, they're able to understand what's going on. So we talk about vocabulary, we stop and talk about summarizing a passage. So you'll see, they're struggling to explain, but they're able to do it because they're scaffolded, they have my help. Then we have inferencing. So inferencing, again, is not what happened in the book, but it's their version of what they think might happen based on the events.
So my name is Faith Freeman. In the other video, I introduced myself to show y'all who I am. In the first page, we're gonna be talking about wrinkles in time.
A Wrinkle in Time.
We're gonna be just talking about the pages. On the first page, it was going bad because they said she been dropped down to the lowest section in her grade. But I think she's not doing good in her school, and I think she's focused on everybody else that's telling her that's like saying stuff about her for her to not focus. But on the second page, I think that she's going to turn to someone that she's not, and I think she's trying to do good in school and not trying to focus on everybody else.
So the good thing about this, the book says she was dropped to a lower grade, but Faith was able to go beyond that and infer, well, maybe she's focused on everybody else. She's not focusing on what she needs to do. And that to me sounds like it's a text to self connection. Maybe she's going through the same thing. So she understands what Meg is going through. And then this is summarizing.
Hello, my name is Freddie Frost, and I am a Doctor's Elite 13 class. We are reading A Wrinkle in Time. So, chapter 1, there's a 5-year-old boy who talks like a grown man. And then there's Miss Murray and then Meg Murray. So Meg Murray is the sister of Charles Wallace. There's also Miss Watson, an old lady that only Charles Wallace knows until the end of chapter 1. So at the end of chapter 1, Miss Watson randomly comes to their house and just barges, well, she doesn't barge, and Miss Murray goes to the door and opens it for her. Near the end, when Miss Watson is about to leave, she says something about a tesseract, and then when she leaves, Miss Murray is stunned, like she doesn't know like what a tesseract is, like what is a tesseract, and she is stunned, so she's just standing there, so stunned that Miss Watson had said that.
What I love about this one is we learn a lot about vocabulary. He used the word astonished, barging, and stunned, and those are some of the words that he read in the book. So that was really, really, really good. That's my phrase.
name is Freddie Frost.
And then, last, we have citing evidence from the text.
Hello, my name is Jasmine. In my opinion of the significance of the events so far that happened in chapter 1 is that they're really crazy because at first the girl was fighting the boy because he had called the baby brother dumb. They had called her baby brother dumb, and then fast forward to the next page, she was staying up all night and stuff. And then the baby brother Charles Wallace was know that she was up, and the baby brother, the dumb baby brother talked like a grown man, and he's only 5 years old. And I think, and then next thing you know, they had invited Miss Watson in their house because Charles Wallace and Miss Watson became good friends because Fortune Browse, their dog, had ran over into the woods chasing a squirrel, and then they seen the old creepy house. And what I think will happen in chapter 2 is the mother will find out that the Miss Watson is a witch, and she's like do some type of spell on them or something.
So this is a mixture of summarizing and predicting, but in the beginning she said Meg was crazy. But the book doesn't say Meg is crazy, but she went back in the text and said, well, Meg is crazy because she had a fight with a kid who called her baby brother dumb. So that's citing evidence from the text. So those are some of the things you should look out for when your child is reading. Encourage them to read and just stop them and say, hey, what's going on in the book? What's happening in the story? What happened in the beginning, middle, and end? Just to make sure that they're not just reading words, but they're understanding what they're reading. All right, so these are the reader levels expectations. We use a program called Fontes and Pinnell. So on the left side is the grade band, and on the right tells you where your child should be reading in the beginning, middle, and end. So if you want to get more information on this, the best thing for you to do is contact your child's teacher and ask, where is my child when it comes to their reading level? Are they above, below, or on grade level? And then from there, you can help them to find books on their grade level when they're choosing books that they want to read. I can't make this big, I apologize, but I keep it up there for when you take a picture. So kindergarten, in the beginning, like about now, they should be around maybe an A, B, but by the end, they should be reading on level C. First grade, in the beginning, C, D, E, but by the end is an I. Second grade, by the end of second grade, they should be reading on an M level. Third grade, P. Fourth grade, S, and fifth grade, UV. Again, talk to your child's teacher so you'll get a better understanding of where they are in the reading, on their reading level. And once you find out your child's reading level, you can encourage them to come to the media center and choose books on their reading level, or even your local library, or go with them to check out books and read with them. That's best to have them read back and forth, checking for fluency, checking that they're not reading the hat is on the cat, making sure that they are reading the way they're speaking. And if they have to do repeated reading, that's a great way to build their fluency. And that's it for me.
Really good, thank you.
Parents, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was really good, very informative, thank you.
These kids are awesome. Oh, this is our reading coach.
I'm sorry, we got a lot of things going this morning.
Yeah.
I am Ms. Bolden. Dr. Cruz and I are really involved in the
Yes.
literacy in the building. The only difference between she and I is I work mostly with the adult learners in the building, and she actually touches some of the scholars. To just piggyback off of some of the stuff she said, when we think about this literacy this media center, it is definitely active and up and running, and we have a media specialist in here. So your scholars have an opportunity to bring home 2 books, and you will see, sometimes don't pressure them to say, you know, oh, that's a baby book, because they are actually picking out books that are on their independent level, meaning they can actually read it without a struggle. And your goal is to work with them through that so that they start to advance and get larger books and books that are on their grade level. Things that you'll see are like 1.3. And what that means is like first grade, third month. And we may have a third grader that may have a 1.3, but that's their independent level. So when they're coming home, we don't want them to be frustrated. What we're trying to do here at Kimberly is have them to grow a love for reading. So that's what we need to work on first. We don't want them to hate reading. They have to love it and enjoy it. So let them pick up things that they like, things that they enjoy reading, giving them an opportunity to listen to reading, hear what good readers sound like. So that's also something that we do here. A way that you can actually help us, I'm gonna give you, I thought about a takeaway, is around our high frequency words, which some of them are sight words that they should know them when they see them, but there are some of the words that they can actually decode. I gave you up to list 100, and that's something you can sit down with your scholar and just say, you know, read these words. And sometimes you'll see that they struggle through some of them. So you can kind of work with them just on those words that are decodable or words that they should know when they see them. You can also talk to your teacher about where your scholar is as it relates to sight words, because they all have sight words in this building, and you can find out where they are, and that's one way you can really, really help us, because if they can identify sight words while they're reading, then they really have a chance, okay? So because most of what they read is these high frequency words or sight words. So, and if it's ever an opportunity where you need more resources and you've reached out to the teacher, you can reach out to myself or Dr. Grizzle, and we'll definitely help you out with that as well. So I've given you the first 100. When you go through it with your scholar and you say, I need this next 100, Ms. Bolden, just let me know and I can email that over to you, okay? Thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Okay, so once again, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
I enjoyed seeing the scholars engaging with their teachers and just summarizing the books and just a general information about the books, which brings us to the parent portal. Hands shown raised if you have signed up for the parent portal. Okay. So if you haven't, we had a parent portal workshop about 2 weeks ago, but I'm still assisting parents with getting onto that site, because the parent portal is a way that you can really connect with your child's teacher to see what's going on in the classroom. Just recently, progress reports were sent out. You can access it by getting your report cards. There's a daily overview, access to grades anytime. So if you have those 4th and 5th graders that say, we didn't get it, I don't know what happened, you can connect to parent portal and find out. Just say, hey, just wait a second, I have parent portal. I can go on and get it, don't worry about it. You can browse assignments, view attendance. Attendance is a very important piece, and our social worker will be talking about that very soon. Check on schedules and school announcements. The parent portal is essential. One of my parents, when she logged on last week, not only was she able to see her scholars' grades here at Kimberly, it connected her to her middle school and her high school students who stated that they had not received a report card or anything. And she actually sat there for about 5 minutes. Just when she saw it, she was like, wow, you know, look at this, he said this and she said that. And she just continued to go down the list and get everything that she needed. She took out her camera, started snapping pictures, because she was excited to see what had been going on with her scholars and the fact that her babies had told her that they had not received anything. So the parent portal is a great tool for you. Thank you.
Ms. Mills, can I say one more thing about the machine that you see downstairs that's flashing lights with the books in it? That is when we talk about the scholars that are taking their AR test, like when they read books and you ask them, did you take an AR test? They have AR goals, and there will be a set of scholars that meet their goals, or they get so many points, and they get a token to put in that machine, and they actually get a book that they get to choose, and they get to own it. So
Mr. Sally has actually put a budget out, so he's actually buying these brand new books. So if your scholar, they're all fascinated by that thing, so, but that's the way they get a book, and they get a token because they read books, they take tests, and they earn points. And then they'll get a token, and they get a chance to get a book that will be their own, that they get to take home with them, okay? So that's what that whole thing is going on, that's flashing when you walk in the building, the book, I don't know if we wanna call it ATM machine, book,
It's a vendor.
what is it called?
Vending machine.
Vending machine, the book vending machine, that's how they get a book out of there, that's how they get it.
All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm Miss Snipes, I'm the school social worker, and, so I'm sure, I see some of you guys are familiar faces. I stand out front with the parent liaison and with Mr. Carroll, the art teacher, and we are greeting your scholars, and we are genuinely happy that they show up and happy that you guys are getting them here every day on full attendance. In that pamphlet, it just talks about some of the things that, that we already know, right? Getting kids to school every day is really important. When they're not here, you don't have the Dr. Grizzles in front of them teaching them about reading, right? And so that's really important. So just to highlight, it says like attending school regularly can help your child succeed. It can help your child have a positive attitude about learning, do his best in school, and be prepared for the future, right? And so just remembering that, and I heard Mom talk about the routine, right? Because we're talking about routine, how to incorporate that. I love that she said that, you know, sometimes he's ready, clothes already on, you know, and he has to wake me up to go. And so we want kids to be excited like that, to say, hey, wake up, it's time to go. They're already ready. And so kudos to you, Mom, for doing a good job of already setting that. It sounds like you set that example that school is important. Let's keep it going to make that scholar already at a young age excited about school. In this pamphlet, it also talks about the consequences of not getting a child to school, right? Because in the state of Georgia, it is the law. It's the law. Kids under the age of 16, they are required to be in school. So you guys are getting a call from us. I know if the kids aren't here, you're getting a call, a friendly call, just to say, hey, what's going on? That call may come from one of the SAC members, which is the Student Attendance Committee. That's the parent liaison, it's the SST specialist, the counselor, it's myself, of course, it is the principal secretary. So we have a team of people that's calling to check on your scholars, and we know that they may be out for for medical reasons, but we're just asking that you get those excuses in and try to schedule those appointments for after school, all right? The best that you can. Last thing I'll say, because I know we're short on time, is we try to make school fun, right? This week we're doing the Attendance Awareness Spirit Week. Thank you for allowing your scholars to participate. Monday we had we're ready to go to war on excessive school. So we wore camouflage, right? Tuesday we had on our learning hats, right? Wednesday, what did we do? We wore pajamas. Show up bright and early wearing your pajamas. Today you'll see some of us and the scholars in their rise up early and come to school Falcons gear. And tomorrow we have signing day, okay? And that signing is just like a pledge saying I will come to school every day on time. With our scholars, parents, you guys play a major part in that, because can they drive?
Not yet.
No, they
Not
can't
yet.
drive, not yet. So it's up to you to kind of, instill in them at a young age to get up early, get into your routine, come to school, have fun, and learn. I'm available anytime. I am here. You just call and let me know if you have any questions. You get correspondence from us through email, through the mail. So as you see, we are a team and we're here to support you. So if anything comes up, any barriers, let us know so we can try to work to help your scholar to be successful. Okay? All right, thank you. Assistant Principal, Mrs. Reese.
All right, hands if you have, or if you're connected to Class Dojo with your child's teacher. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, so I'm preaching to the choir. Class Dojo is a way that you can communicate with your child's teacher. You can also receive communications. That teacher can communicate with you class-wide or individual. You also get to see the point system. You'll see whether or not your child earned points or points were taken away for the day. The good thing about Class Dojo is all of our kids are familiar. We've been doing it for years. So they know when they hear that little ping sound in the classroom, that means that somebody got some positive points. They also hear that little so that sound means that somebody's doing something they shouldn't be doing. And so it helps the teacher in a way where they can manage these points, like on their cell, they can manage it. Some teachers will have it posted, and kids can kind of redirect themselves really quickly, and the teacher doesn't have to take a lot of time away addressing certain behaviors. With Class Dojo, it is also linked to some of the activities that we do in our building. When we have special recognition for PBIS, that's our positive behavior system in our school, and we have a game room. And so in our game room, we, Mr. Carroll manages the game room. We have video games, and once a month, kids who earn a certain amount of points, he'll have some different criteria. Sometimes he'll take the top 15 point winners for the grade level. So whatever that criteria is for that month, those kids get to go to the game room, and they get about an hour out of their day once a month to be celebrated for doing such a great job. And the points, they're mostly behavior points, but sometimes it could be completing assignments or doing your homework and things like that. So just all the good things that we want our kids to do, we connect that to Class Dojo. Anybody not connected, reach out to your child's teacher, because every child has a unique password that goes with them that allows them to be connected on that level. All right, last but not least, here are our upcoming events. Based on that storm that was supposed to come through last week, we rescheduled our movie night. Thank goodness it didn't come through. But our movie night is now going to be tomorrow. The movie night is $2 to attend, and we will sell concessions. All right, fall break is coming up for our learners. That's next week. You have the pleasure of having your kids with you all week long. Report cards are going to be sent home October 20th. The last grading period for report cards was last Friday. And so the teachers do get that extended time to make sure all the grades are in and everything is good, and then the report cards will be sent home. But also, they talked about the parent portal. So if ever you don't receive like a paper copy of a report card, it's always on your parent portal. All right, 5th grade is taking a trip to the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, and that's going to be on October 20th as well. We have Picture Day coming up. That's going to be October 24th. The dental band will come and visit on October 26th. If you need information about that, you can talk to our school nurse. Not sure if there was a deadline for those applications to be closed out, but it doesn't hurt to talk to our school nurse if that's something that you would like. Kindergarten field trip, November 3rd. They're going to the Botanical Gardens. And there will be no school November 8th, Election Day. All right? So if you wanted to do like a quick pick, you can, of those important dates so you can kind of be in the know. We'll leave that slide up for you. Once again, we thank you all for coming. These are all our favorite faces. I see one new face, and that might be because this is my first time joining the Chat and Chew. We do thank you for taking the time to come out, and we hope that the information that you received today was useful. And please take as much as you would like to take with you, because we can't do anything with it. And just thank you guys.
I just want to say one more thing, guys. We did have Ms. Carter Smith listed for Community in Schools. She's out today. She wasn't feeling well. But Community in Schools is a program that does exactly what it says. It's based in the community, and it helps the parents in the schools with referrals, helping to find jobs, if you need assistance with food, having issues with being evicted from your home. She can assist with those things, finding referrals for you. So I just wanted to address that. Thank you so much for coming, and we look forward to seeing you guys next month, and you at home as well. Take care.